Ladies and gentlemen, the seatbelt sign is still on, so please remain in your seat with your seatbelt fastened until the signs have been switched off. We suggest that whenever seated, you keep them fastened. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin and smoking is not...
There's a strange thing about living somewhere new. Not new like visiting. New like staying. New like buying groceries there. New like learning which tram to take without checking. New like hearing the language often enough that it stops sounding foreign, but still doesn't quite feel like yours. And after a while you realize that the strangest part isn't the language, or the paperwork, or even the distance. It's living in a place that has no memory of you. No memory of who you were before you got here. No memory of the version of you that other people used to recognize immediately. You just arrive. And you stand somewhere in between languages, between versions of yourself, between what you were certain of and what you're still figuring out. A bridge doesn't choose a side, it just holds the crossing. At first, everything feels temporary, like you're just passing through, like you'll go back, but days stack quietly, and you learn where the light switches are. You stop translating prices in your head, and you recognize the sound of the tram before you even see it. And at some point, the place stops feeling borrowed. The only version of you that they know is the one that shows up today. In Los Angeles, I had a geography. As kids, we'd ride our bikes down Imperial Highway all the way toward Los Angeles Airport, LAX, before it got built up, before it got fenced off. See how far that was that we could go safely in those days? There was a hill. This hill at the end of the runway. And we'd lie on our backs and we'd watch the planes take off right over us. Yeah, it was dangerous. I admit it now. You could see the landing gear folding in. It felt close enough to touch. Like if you jumped high enough, you could grab it. But you couldn't. But it felt like you could. Then we'd ride all the way to the Redondo Beach Pier in the summertime. And we'd play air hockey until it got dark. I was very serious about air hockey. And then, if my grandmother was working nearby, she'd take us to El Tarasco and El Segundo for these enormous wet burritos, smothered in melted cheese, which they still have. No one remembers when we ditched school and climbed over the fence and went to the mall. I'm sure everyone knew we had ditched. Two girls in school uniforms in the mall at 11 in the morning. Yeah, we got in trouble. Life in the 70s. Those days remember me. And here, nobody remembers that girl. No one remembers the hill. No one remembers the air hockey. No one remembers the school. No one remembers when I was confident. No one remembers when I was overwhelmed. No one remembers when I was busy or when I was little. They don't remember anything because I wasn't here. When nobody here remembers your old stories, you realize just how much you were living inside them. There's no past reputation to maintain, no expectations to live up to, no old stories trailing behind me. If I decide I'm calm now, no one argues. If I decide I'm quiet now, that's just who I am. If I decide I don't rush anymore, there's no archive to contradict me. I could reinvent myself as someone who wakes up at 5 a.m. and meditates. And no one will ever know that I've never, ever done that. He hates this, but he loves peanut butter. That's why I have peanut butter on my head. But now he doesn't want the peanut butter. But anyway, there's something else.
When no one remembers who you were, you discover that you're the only one holding that memory. And then you realize that how much of your identity was being reinforced by other people. I think that we don't just remember ourselves, other people remember us into existence. At least that's the thesis. Living somewhere that doesn't remember you, it isn't lonely. It's quiet. And in that quiet, you get to choose. No one remembers that girl. But I do. She's not gone. She just grew. Okay, Ogie, let me finish cutting these.
No one here knows who I used to be, and they only know the version of me that shows up today. And for the first time, that feels light, not defensive, not dramatic, just honest. I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm not trying to maintain anything. I'm not correcting the past. But I am trying to overcome the post-traumatic stress syndrome that my country gave and is giving me currently at the moment. I don't know if my parasympathetic nervous system will ever return to normal levels, but I'm just arriving, and I'm trying. There's that saying that you can never go home again. Well, you can, but what they mean is that the place will always be different from the way you remember it, especially my home now. Planes take off. They fold up what touched the ground, and they keep going. So do I.